guys, welcome back. It's Josh with Financial Advisor Car Guy. This week I want to rewind the clock about 3 years. And if you guys were watching these videos when I first got started, it was the very first video I ever did on alternative investments. I'm going to reference that video a little bit. I had said on there that people can invest in Bitcoin, people collect stamps, people flip cars, people do all sorts of random things as kind of their side hustle or alternative ways to invest, right? Rather than the generic way of buying stock, right? I could buy a rental property and rent it out, or I could buy a commercial property and fill it with businesses. And those are ways to invest outside of just saving your money, putting it into an account, and then investing it in stock. So one thing that I shared with you guys back then was that I'm a baseball fan. And, the last video I talked about our trip to Disney World, and we broke away and went to a couple different baseball games and stuff. That's me in a nutshell. I love baseball. It's my sport, right? There's guys that just watch football every Sunday. I'm a baseball guy. And so with that, I get to know and like the players. I follow a lot of teams. You're going to see a lot of my videos. I'm wearing a Giants hat or a Giants t-shirt or whatever. The Giants are my team. But anyway, my point with all that is part of my love for baseball also extends to baseball cards. And, I've done videos about, again, collecting things and whatever. Pre-COVID, right? So, we're talking 2017, 18, something like that. While I was at work, I was reading some articles about same sort of concept, alternative assets. And someone was using the Honus Wagner, the T206, from 1911 or no, I think 1911 Honus Wagner card, right? And it's millions of dollars. And then fast forward to 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle. 51 was actually Mantle's rookie year, but in 52 Topps came out with this card. And so that's been kind of his rookie card forever. There is a 51 Bowman. Gosh, I'm drawing a blank, so forgive me. There is a 1951 card of him, but this 52 Topps is really considered his rookie card. And it has smashed all sorts of sales records. It's the most valuable card in the world. The highest graded one is owned by the owner of the Arizona Diamondbacks. And he was offered $28 million for this card, and he declined. So what that tells us is that card in pristine condition is worth $30 million or more, which is ridiculous for a piece of cardboard with a face of some guy on it, right? I collect baseball cards for the hobby of it, but I've had some pretty valuable cards in my life, including that 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle. Now, my version of the card, I paid about $8,000 for, which sounds ridiculous, but I didn't own it very long, and I sold it for $10,000. Cool, right? I made literally like 25%. And those are kind of rough numbers. I paid just under 8,000, sold it for just under 10. But the point is, we're going to use 8 and 10. So I made, 25%. I made $2,000 on an $8,000 investment. Not bad in a short time. Well, in conjunction to that 52, I also bought a 56 Topps Mantle. Now, I like the 56 Topps cards. In my collection right now, I have Ted Williams, I have Hank Aaron, I have Willie Mays, I have Jackie Robinson, Sandy Koufax, Mickey Mantle. Now, at that point in time, I think it was about $1,500 I paid for a 56 Mantle. And if you guys follow sports cards or understand how cards are graded, you can send them to one of these authentication companies. They grade the card. They'll encapsulate it in a hard plastic case with a label kind of up on the top portion of it. In hindsight, I should have had one here to hold up and show you. So I'm going to post a picture of one right here. But conceptualize with me a Mickey Mantle. This card was a PSA 8. Now, the scale goes from authentic, which just means it was authenticized. Then it goes to a PSA 1 up to a 10. It's a 10-point scale. There are some misnomers though. You can have a card that's off-centered or miscut or altered or trimmed, whatever. There's several different caveats to each card. Well, anyway, I had this Mickey Mantle PSA 8, okay, off-centered. Now the card was dramatically off-centered. The border was like non-existent on one side and it was twice as big as it's supposed to be on the other side. So the whole image was slid off awkwardly on the card, but the card was in fantastic shape, PSA 8. But because of the miscut or the off-centeredness of the card, it wasn't selling for what most PSA 8s sell for, right? So a true PSA 8 at the time might have been like $2,500. I was able to get a card of the same quality, miscut, for $1,000 less, or like almost half price, right? So I bought that card, $1,500, and I was super excited about it. Well, then when I sold my 52 mantle for a $2,000 profit, I felt like I was living large. Now all of a sudden I had this really awesome 56 mantle card that I essentially got for free, because if you offset the cost of it with the profit on the other card, right? I mean, between the two cards, I paid like $9,500. I sold one of them for 10 grand. So not only did I have $500 of cash left over, but I also had this mantle card. Fast forward 6-7 years. Okay, so here we are today. I'm still collecting baseball cards. And I've been watching the market and it's sickening. The Mickey Mantle, the 52 Topps rookie that I had was a PSA 1 card. Again, cost me about $8,000. Today, 7 years later, 6.5, 7 years later, a PSA 1 mantle card's about $30,000. Okay, that 56 mantle Topps card off-centered, PSA 8, a clean version of it, when I bought mine, was, like I said, maybe $2,500. I paid $1,500. Right now they're going PSA 8, right? That's a higher grade than a PSA 1 on my 52 mantle. PSA 8 is probably roughly, I'm gonna ballpark this, 25 to 30 grand for a PSA 8. Even miscut, it's a $15,000 to $20,000 card. I paid $1,500 for it. Now, why is that sickening? Isn't that awesome to turn a $1,500 card into like $15,000? It is, if you knew that I still had it, or if you thought that I still had it. Truth is, I don't have it. After I sold the 52 mantle, again, I'm like, oh man, this is sweet. I got this 56 mantle card that I've wanted for a long time, right? Wanted for a long time. Essentially for free, okay? Right? Again, doing the math, I had this card left over for basically no basis, okay? I'd already cashed out the big one to cover both. So what does Josh do? Josh decides, man, I really need another car in my life. So I go on Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist, and I start looking at project cars that are, maybe $2,000 to $3,000. And I start making trade offers to people. Hey, I've got this PSA 8 Mickey Mantle card. It's worth, at the time, maybe close to $2,000. Again, my cost in it was $1,500, but hey, I pretty much got it for free. So I start telling people $2,000 and, whatever, maybe more than that, because the market was moving up. And eventually I found a car and traded the card away. Now, do I have that car anymore? Sure don't. Do I have that card anymore? Sure don't. What do I have to show for it? Well, I'll tell you what, I continued to flip cars, trade them over and over and over. And now I have my daughter's Eclipse that's essentially been paid for with the profits of priorly flipped cars. But that car, it's not worth $15,000 to $20,000 like that Mickey Mantle would be. So I wanted to share that story with you guys today, because if you do collect sports cards, pay attention to market trends. I wish that I had just held on to that card. Now, since then, I have again bought another 56 mantle card, but it's a PSA 1. It's not in very good condition. I just wanted it for my personal collection. It's not a card that I'm going to sell. It's a card that I wanted to keep in my collection. But today, a PSA 1 is like $500. So going back in time, that PSA 8 being $1,500 was an incredible bargain. Incredible bargain. Thinking back to the 52 mantle, $8,000 at that point in time seemed like a stupid, absolutely insane amount of money to spend on a card. Today it'd be worth over $30,000. So that's all I got for you guys today. My mind is just like blowing every time I think about this. I kick myself because, I didn't need that car and I didn't even have it very long. Again, I kind of bought it and flipped it and yeah, not a great deal for me, but it's okay. You live and learn. And like I said, I have since bought another one of those mantles, the 56. Those cars are awesome. I really do like them. If you have never seen one, I'll pop one up right here, but 56 mantles are pretty cool. And they're neat looking cards and the artwork on them is beautiful for the time. They're very 50s, I'll call it that. So, but again, that's all I got for you guys this week. I just wanted to share that personal story with you to kind of give you some more insight to me, right? Like I'm kind of a nerd. I think baseball cards are awesome. And if you can make money with it, great. The way I do it, and I'll just kind of close with this, my son and I collect. So we'll go to Walmart or wherever, Target, and we'll buy some packs. Okay, we build sets. So you're gonna get in a pack, let's call it 12 or 15 common cards. Well, those cards we collect and build these sets. And these sets maybe are 300 players or 350 players or whatever it is. Duplicates we sell off or trade. And every once in a while we'll get one of these insert cards, which is a special card. Maybe it looks different. Maybe it's a different color. Maybe it's autographed. Maybe it's whatever it is. And so we then sell those cards off to help kind of fund the project. So we try to recycle as much money as we can. And so we'll keep the cards we want and sell off the stuff that we don't. Rinse, repeat, right? And so what I've been doing is tapping into older cards now that I can sell them a little bit easier. There's a platform. And, so you can sell them with a lot more ease in a marketplace of people looking for that particular card. So I've been able to sell cards that I've been sitting on for years with, again, relative ease. And that money comes into this app and I can either cash it out, I can move it to my bank, or within the app, I can buy more cards. And so I've been able to use those in-app credits. It's not really credits, it's real money, but to buy cards that, I've always wanted, cards that maybe I couldn't find as a kid. My wife and I were talking about it, collecting cards when I was 10 years old, we didn't have the internet. It was like if my friend didn't have that card or the local baseball card shop didn't have the card that I wanted, my only option was to buy packs until I found it. And if I didn't have money, I wasn't buying packs. So, fast forward to today when like my son, he's 5 cards short of a set, he can just go on eBay and buy all 5 of those cards for 25 cents a piece. For $1.25, he's gonna complete his set, right? He doesn't have to go buy $5 packs until he gets them. He can just do it. And so collecting has changed a lot, in the last 30, 40 years, right? Things have changed for the better, I would say. I don't think there's anything more fun than sitting with my son, tearing open packs, looking for a special card or whatever it is. That's super fun to me. But at the same time, when you get down to the last couple dozen cards, I hate buying packs to just get duplicate after duplicate after duplicate. That's annoying. So being able to just go on and buy the 1 or 2 or the 10 cards that we need is great. And like I said, we sell off the duplicates. Maybe it's in bulk, maybe it's one-offs if they're an all-star or whatever it is. You can get a little bit of money for some of these cards, and then you can buy the cards that you want. And so I've been able to expand my collection, have cards that I never thought I'd own. And sometimes, like I'm a deal hunter. I will just search and search and search. And some of these apps, you can make offers on cards. So if a guy has 3 or 4 cards that I want, I'll like pool them into one offer. And then, let's say individually they cost $30 to buy 5 cards. Well, I might put them all into a deal and say, hey, listen, I'll give you 25 for the 5 cards instead of the 30. Or maybe I'll start lower than that. I'll give you $20 for the 5 cards. And then they can counter offer or they can accept, and away we go. And so anyway, it's been a lot of fun. It's been super fun. But every time I think of 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle or 1956 Topps Mickey Mantle, I get a little funkiness in my belly because it does make me a little bit sick to know that, I I did fine. I shouldn't complain. I just wish that I had the foresight to know how those cards would have turned out. So thanks for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below, hit that notification bell. But most importantly, remember, may every investment you make be a good one. Till next time.